BTS Global News Tonight. Seoul, October 2025. The night in Seoul felt warmer than usual, as if the air itself was whispering something soft across the city. Lights along Gangnam shimmered like stars, and amid the noise and movement, millions of armies around the world stared at their phone screens without blinking. Jimin is live. Two simple words appeared on Weverse notifications, and in a matter of seconds, the world seemed to stop spinning for those who had long awaited Park Jimin's gentle smile and soothing voice. But no one expected that this live would be more than just another casual chat between Jimin and his fans. Toward the end of that warm broadcast, a moment so subtle, so brief yet so deeply moving, became the talk of the world by dawn. A tiny surprise, a quiet gesture that many now call Jungkook's most beautiful gift to Jimin. Jimin's live began in a calm atmosphere. He sat in his softly lit living room, dressed in a gray sweater and loose pants, his slightly messy hair and bare face radiating an effortless natural charm. "I just wanted to talk a little tonight," he said softly, gazing into the camera with that signature smile that always made armies feel close. Outside, the gentle sound of rain fell against the windows, wrapping the room in a peaceful hush. There was no background music, only Jimin's voice and the sound of raindrops, blending into a melody born of honesty. He talked about his recent days, his time in the studio, and the warmth he felt seeing armies' continuous support, even when he wasn't performing on stage. But between his gentle words, Jimin occasionally looked down, smiling faintly as if hiding something he didn't want to reveal just yet. Some observant armies quickly sensed something was off. "He looks like he's waiting for someone," one fan commented in the Weverse chat. "His eyes keep glancing to the right side of the screen, like he's expecting someone to show up." Minute by minute passed. Jimin continued reading comments, responding with laughter and warmth. When one fan teased, "Jimin, we know someone's in your house," he chuckled, bit his lip, and looked at the camera with an unreadable expression. "You guys are too sharp," he whispered softly. "But maybe tonight is different." And it truly was. Just as the live reached the 47-minute mark, something happened. The screen shook slightly, as if someone had moved behind the camera. Jimin turned quickly, his eyes widening a little before he let out a shy laugh, clearly trying to hide his nervousness. Did you hear that?" he asked quickly, covering his face with his hands. But it was too late. In the reflection of the glass behind him, a tall figure with damp black hair, wearing a black hoodie, could be seen slowly walking toward Jimin. Armies erupted instantly. "It's Jungkook," thousands wrote almost simultaneously. From that moment, the live turned from a calm session into one of the most emotional moments of the year. Jungkook didn't appear directly on camera. He stopped behind Jimin, leaned forward slightly, and his soft yet distinct voice filled the air. "You're still awake?" Jimin turned, his cheeks turning pink. "I'm just chatting," he answered quietly. A faint laugh escaped Jungkook's lips as he stepped closer. The camera shook again, and then a hand, Jungkook's hand, appeared on the edge of the frame, placing something small on the table beside Jimin. "For you," he said simply. Jimin blinked, puzzled, then looked down. A small, deep purple box, neatly tied with a silver ribbon, lay there. Jimin didn't open it right away. He just stared at it for a moment, then looked back at the camera, his eyes glistening. "He's always like this," he whispered, almost as if to himself. "Always knows when to show up." The moment lasted only a few seconds before Jungkook stepped back and disappeared from view. Jimin bit his lip, lowered his gaze, and slowly opened the box. Inside was something that took everyone's breath away. A silver crescent moon pendant engraved with the initials PJM on one side, and on the other, in tiny, almost hidden letters, were the words, "Still with you." To Jimin's tears fell the moment he held the pendant. He said, "It's not a birthday gift, not an anniversary gift either," Jimin murmured, his voice trembling. He just said, "It's a reminder that we're never really far apart, even when the world feels too quiet." The chat exploded in emotions. Thousands wrote, "We're crying," while others flooded the screen with "Still with you" and rows of purple hearts, sending virtual hugs to the two souls who had given them so much warmth. After a pause, Jimin looked back at the camera, his eyes red but smiling softly. "I think this is the most beautiful gift," he said with a trembling voice. "Because sometimes the best gifts aren't grand. They're the ones that come quietly, exactly when you need to be reminded that someone cares. He held the pendant to his chest and whispered, barely audible, "Thank you, Jungkook ah." He ended the live without another word, but the silence that followed made the world roar. Within minutes, hashtags #StillWithYou, #JungkookLive, and #JungkookGift dominated Twitter and Weverse. Clips of that short moment spread across every platform, amassing over 15 million views in just a few hours. Fans everywhere shared emotional reactions, calling it not just a gift, but a symbol of an unspoken bond. That on Korean community sites, a post from someone claiming to be a HYB staff member added fuel to the fire. They wrote that the pendant had been custom-made by Jungkook himself in a small jewelry shop in Busan. He came alone, the post said. He asked for a crescent moon design and wanted the engraving done by hand. It took 2 weeks. The story was unverified, but many believed it. The pendant's simple, elegant style perfectly matched Jungkook's aesthetic. Minimal, intimate, yet deeply meaningful. Hours later, Jungkook didn't post anything on Weverse. But fans noticed something else. On his Instagram story, he uploaded a 5-second clip of raindrops sliding down a window, with a small caption in the corner, "Moonlight never forgets the night." Instantly, fans interpreted it as a secret message to Jimin, tying back to the moon-shaped pendant. Within hours, fan theories filled the internet. The next morning, major Korean and international media outlets reported on what they called the most emotional live of the year. Some described it as proof that BTS's brotherhood remains strong even as the members pursue solo projects. But for ARMY, it was far more than that. It was a reminder of how deep the bond between Jimin and Jungkook truly runs. Two souls who have shared stages, laughter, and tears for over a decade. HYB remained silent. No official statements, no clarifications. But that silence only made the moment more genuine, as if the company had chosen to let the emotion speak for itself. Many fans felt that the moment wasn't scripted or planned. Just two people who understood each other without words. By afternoon, Jimin finally posted on Weverse, "Thank you for watching last night. I didn't expect it to feel that warm. I'm happy." He ended with a tiny moon emoji and a purple heart. Jungkook said nothing publicly, but during his gaming live that night, when a fan commented, "Your gift was beautiful, Jungkook ah," he just laughed softly and said, "He deserves it." Then he went back to playing, his silence speaking louder than any words. That night, armies around the world created fan art, letters, and video edits of the live. Several fanbases launched the campaign #GiftOfTheMoon, describing the pendant as a timeless symbol of connection between two members who have been through everything together. Many wrote that the gift wasn't just for Jimin. It was for every ARMY who had witnessed BTS grow through the years. Days passed, yet the memory lingered. On every social platform, the clip of Jimin smiling through tears and saying, "He always knows when to show up," kept being replayed. And somehow, every time someone watched it, it still felt like the first time. Like witnessing love in its purest form. Not romantic love, but the kind that grows from understanding, time, and loyalty. Some armies wrote, "It's not just a gift. It's a message that even in a busy world, there's still room for small gestures that touch the heart." And maybe that's true. Because that night, in a simple Weverse live, the world saw something beyond words. A gift not wrapped in luxury, but in sincerity. A moment that made millions believe again in the quiet kind of magic that comes in the form of a smile, a whispered phrase, or a tiny silver moon pendant given in silence. Jungkook might not have said much, but through his actions, he spoke something far deeper than words. And for Jimin, that night wasn't just another live. It was the night he received the most beautiful gift he would never forget. Somewhere outside, under the rain and Seoul's glowing city lights, perhaps even the crescent moon, smiled, knowing that two hearts that once shared the same stage still remember each other, even in silence, "Still with you." 3 words that now echo not only in Jimin's heart, but in every ARMY's heart who witnessed that night of quiet magic.
Calling me, they'll be calling me.